Happy Monday. The tool of the week should be check your work, but that's not going to be the tool of the week or the concept of the week. Recorded the first iteration and it was muted. So here we go. Take two. The concept of the week is called the most important number, or MIN. I just completed. I've had this for a couple of months. I started it, and then, as I tend to do, at reading 5 books at a time, I forgot about it and just picked it back up and finished it. But this idea of most important number, the methodology and the book was written by a friend, Lee Benson, very accomplished, successful guy, and I want to kind of summarize the most important things, and I think there will be some application to everyone here as I think about sort of early years of Menlo Group Commercial Real Estate and refining numbers and KPIs and focus. But I remember starting, it was all about the number of deals, and I would have said that was the most important number. And I think in most cases, many businesses, frankly, it should be EBITDA and all of your drivers. So the things that impact, so maybe other KPIs or OKRs or other metrics that you measure should tie into that most important number. And again, maybe it's always EBITDA, but I don't know that it's the case in every single business. And I'll give you an example here at the end. But here are some things about focusing when you're focused on the most important number. Numbers never lie. Number two, when you're focused on the numbers, conversations, particularly difficult conversations, tend to be less emotional because it's your objective on the numbers and the results and what we're seeing. And really, then number three, when everyone's job and performance is tied to this most important number, everyone should know what's expected of them and where they stand. And frankly, if you're on the other end of that, the same way, you should then know, if you're tied to the most important number, you should know what your performance is and where you stand. So at the end of the book, he gives an example of a conversation he had with a gentleman who runs a company, and the gentleman said, well, does this work for does it apply to everyone? And they talked about, what about a pilot? Pilot's sitting in a cockpit and there's gauges and there's numbers all over the place. What's a pilot's most important number? And after iterating in this conversation, they together concluded that really at the end of the day, the pilot's most important number is landing the plane safely. That's it. Now, maybe you could argue, if you're the airline, you're focused on EBITDA, but frankly, maybe in that case, it should be plane, at the end of the day, planes landing safely, 100% of the time. But that's not necessarily the point. I just wanted to tell a story that I think, as you iterate and as you think about how, what you're currently focused on, and as you think about this concept of most important number, it might help you get more clear on where you're focusing. So have a great week, and we'll see you next week.